Hasan was somewhat surprised to see Ha sputtering on. He did not know Ha was also randomly sent to the steel armor shelter. Ha was 3 months younger than him. So he should have just had his birthday and gained access to God's sanctuary. For unknown reasons, if those under 16 were teleported, their bodies would suffer irreversible damage. So according to the Alliance laws, one must be 16 years old to be teleported to God's sanctuary. Regardless of social status. Hey Frenzy, where are we going? Hasan asked Zhang Danfeng. Although Zhang Danfeng was a good-looking man, he became crazy whenever he was in a fight. Hence the nickname. Zhang Danfeng's face lit up. Starlight Martial Hall. My idol Tang Zhenyu's going to be in an exhibition fight held there. He was the chosen last year. And his broadsword skills are so fierce. Quote, Zhang Danfeng was full of yearning. In this era where everyone was focused on evolution, stars no longer came from acting, singing, sports and esports, but from fighting. In God's sanctuary, once every year the martial hall of each shelter would open at the same time. And those in the top 100 could have their names on the marshal's tail in the martial hall. The champions from each shelter would be eligible to compete among themselves. And the same happened in all 4 phases of God's sanctuary. The top 10 from each phase could have their names on the sacred tail, which was public to everyone in the same phase, and gain the title, the Chosen. And the 10 chosen would become the hottest stars of the year. In recent years, Qin Shan had always been the champion of steel armor shelter. But her name was never on the sacred tail. So she was never among the top 10 of First God's Sanctuary. Ranking number 5 last year. Tang Zhenyu was known for his fierce broadsword skills. He was very popular among young people and even more well-liked than the top 4. He was paid as high as $10 million for any exhibition match. Knowing his popularity, Hasan was nevertheless shocked when he saw a full house at Starlight Martial Hall, which could accommodate more than 100,000 people. Many crazy fans were holding signs and calling out Tang Zhenyu's name. When he appeared, a girl was so excited that she fainted. If I could have my name on the sacred tail like Tang Zhenyu once in my life, then I'd know I've lived. Zhang Danfeng said admiringly. You will frenzy. Hasan smiled and said, watching the young people around him going crazy for Tang Zhenyu's appearance. It's so hard. I have entered God's sanctuary for 3 months already. Although I bought some primitive flesh and a primitive beast soul, it's still difficult for me hunt any mutant creatures. If I could buy a mutant beast soul, it would be much easier. But even if I had the money, people wouldn't necessarily sell their mutant beast souls. Zhang Danfeng shook his head with a wry smile. Hasan thought to himself regretfully. The only thing that could be brought from God's sanctuary to the real world was a beast soul. While it can only be used but not traded there. Otherwise I could produce mutant creatures and would gain some mutant beast souls eventually. Which could be really helpful to Frenzy. Then I have better luck than you. Danfeng. I just entered God's sanctuary and have already gained a mutant beast soul. Such a pity you are not in steel armor shelter. Or else we could hunt together and I could help you, said proudly. You've gained a mutant beast soul already? Tell the truth. Did you hunt it or pay for it? Zhang Danfeng cried, staring at Of course I hunted it myself, said loudly. Hasan laughed to himself. Since he was a kid, had always raised his voice when he lied. His parents probably bought him the mutant beast soul with an enormous amount of money. The cheapest mutant beast soul would cost millions. And good ones tens of millions. So that's why his relatives were after the old house. It was a huge expense for them. Although the company had earned a lot of money, they had probably spent it all by now. Tang Zhenyu was indeed awesome. Although it was just an exhibition fight, his broadsword skills were so swift and fierce that his broadsword almost became invisible. After watching for a while, Ha Sen knew that Tang Zhenyu must have practiced premium hyper-geno arts and learned his weapon skills from masters. And he was no competition to Tang Zhenyu. Tang Zhenyu won the fight and summoned a beast soul to perform shape-shifting into a 3-meter-tall Tyrannosaurus creature and smashing a huge stone with its head, arousing a burst of screaming. Sacred blood beast soul of raging Dementor. I would do anything for a beast soul like this. Zhang Danfeng stared at Tang Zhenyu, who turned into a monster with a watering mouth. This is nothing. This beast soul is nothing like the $1 has. Ha Ha sputtered about dollar as if it were himself. It would take a showdown to tell. Tang Zhenyu was Danfeng's idol. So he was upset to hear that. I don't know how good dollar was, but his sacred blood beast soul was robbed from others. And it was not a chivalric act. Even if he had a great beast soul, he would not be comparable to Zhenyu. Ha Sen blushed with shame and thought, oh frenzy, you didn't know what a hard time I was having. How could I let go of an opportunity like that? Not to mention Son of Heaven was my enemy. Ha Sen was hesitating whether or not to tell them that dollar was himself, but decided not to. It wouldn't do them any good. After all,